Hi y'all, welcome back to my shop, Mike Peace Woodturning. I'm here to give you tips, tricks, techniques, and show you projects that'll hopefully make you a better wood turner. Once you get to turning a while, somebody sooner or later is going to approach you to fix something, fix a piece of furniture. And I had a fellow in my men's group asked me to help him out. He had a broken finial on a grandfather clock, and he said, do you think you can turn something to make it look a little better? And I said, I think I probably can. So he sent me a picture of the clock, and then he sent me a drawing. I don't know if he had the finial, but what he sent me, he just gave me some measurements, and I just want to show you the process I went through and what I came up with. Here's a picture he sent me of the grandfather clock with the obviously missing finial at the top. I've got a pretty good reference library, and one of the books I had was this book by Mike Darlow on wood turning design. So I referred to that. Here's a drawing I found in Mike Darlow's book on wood turning design that helped give me a little better feel for where I wanted to end up. I got on Pinterest and did a search on grandfather clocks and just did little snippets of some of the designs similar to the top of his grandfather clock, just to give me a feel for some of the variety and the direction I might consider going. Then I did a few sketches based on those designs and that book by Mike Darlow with that picture of a box that he had in there. And then I went to the lathe after I glued up some pine and turned a prototype. So here's a copy of the prototype I turned out of a couple of pieces of glued up 2x4. You know, I didn't worry too much. I didn't do any sanding. I just wanted to give him a pretty good idea of the shape so he could validate whether it's going to meet his needs. And then I'll come back and do it in a better quality wood. Not sure what color. I didn't ask him what color it is, so I don't know if I've got a piece of walnut or whether I'll wind up using poplar and let him have the challenge of dyeing it to his proper color. We'll just have to see. Can't see all this, but first thing I do in the morning is just put a light coat of WD-40 on the lathe bed and just, you know, wipe it down, make sure everything slides nice and smooth. I wipe off the face here so the chuck's got just a slight bit of film to prevent it from sticking. So my friend, the client, said he didn't want a real hardwood because it wouldn't take stain as well, so I'm using poplar. I glued up a couple of pieces. I used a thicker and a thin piece so the center would be off center, not along the seam, because the seams are not going to show in the finished product. I didn't worry about taking the time to joint it or plane it or anything. I just put it against the belt sander, put on some glue and clamped it up. So the centers will not separate the wood by getting in the middle of this seam. Although with wood glue is going to be stronger than the wood anyway, but I don't want any gaps showing along that seam either. So we'll go ahead and mount this. Then the first thing I'm going to do is turn it around at a good speed, holding this against my hip. Got a little bit of a flaw here. I want to decide which end that's going to be on. That's going to be on the base because this is thin and it won't show. Probably wouldn't make any difference on either end. So I'm going to chuck it on this end, so that's where I got to put the tenon. Double check it. There we go. And we're going to put this and mark it off. Got to leave room to part. Like that. Like that. Here you can see the prototype resting in the dust collector hood to make it easy to understand what the shapes and the flow of it while I'm turning. Okay, here's the finished product. On the left is the original pine prototype I turned as kind of a sample, and then on the one on the right is a finished one in glued up poplar, and you can tell on, let me give you a close-up, on the acorn I did just a little bit of texturing. Okay, I hope this was useful for you. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, and y'all stay safe. Come on back here.